Imagine those 8 years though. They had to go from what is now Florida to Mexico City. So that means they had to go through all the swampy lands of Atlanta, Georgia, through all that area, Louisiana. They had to cross through all of Texas, a desert, and then New Mexico, Arizona, like all that area, just the hot desert. Everything they went through, 8 years, had to have been a lot of struggle. So I had read some stories that the 4 men had finally met up and they all escaped together. But now I heard another story that the 4 men ran into slave catchers in Sinaloa in the year 1536, and these men took them back to Mexico City. But the other story is that they had to struggle all the way down to Mexico City. Either way, there was only 4 survivors that made it to Mexico City. Now these 4 survivors started telling all kinds of tales of their survival, of their struggle, of what they went through. They were telling stories about 7 cities of gold to the norte, Cibola. Now this story goes back to indigenous and Spanish roots, so it kind of seemed true. The Spanish had a story back in the day when the Moorish attacked Spain that 7 priests fled with all the gold west. They fled west with all kinds of gold and settled and built 7 cities of gold somewhere to the west. Those were the fabled cities of gold, Cibola. The natives also had a similar version to this story. I'm just not sure what it was. So that made the Spanish believe it even more. So when these 4 survivors started spinning all these tales of the 7 cities of gold, and Estevanico was the one mostly saying it, he even wrote a book about it, the Spanish believed it. So Francisco de Coronado, the governor of the New Galicia province of New Spain, which was in northwest Mexico, got with this friar named De Niza. I forget his first name, but his last name was Niza, N-I-Z-A. They came up with an idea of getting an expedition, whatever you want to call it, and going north to explore and find these cities of gold, so that way they could claim them for Spain. They had to pay for most of this out of their own funds as well. While they did put this expedition together and they left from Compostela in 1540, they left with 400 European men at arms, anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000 Mexican indigenous allies, 4 friars and several slaves. And then they went north, and that's how they found New Mexico in 1540. Now I will tell the story of Coronado's expedition in a future video, as well as what happened after that when Oñate settled. So stay tuned and watch my future videos. Thank you for watching. This has been the story of how New Mexico was found by the Spanish. This is Tragedy. I'm out. Subscribe to my channel to learn more.